I think I can speak for every Blue Jays fan when I say that coming into this series, we all feared this result. You have the emotional series against Oakland at Rogers Center. You go to the Bronx, you sweep the Yankees in 4 for the first time that they've been, they haven't had a lead in a 4-game series in like forever, and it's just crazy numbers. The Jays just flat out dominate the Yankees. But you head to Baltimore, and everyone's calling it a trap series, and I am 100% with that. Baltimore Orioles obviously dead last in the MLB, or at least very near the bottom 3 at least. And they really don't have anything to play for, but they're playing free and easy. The Jays, on the other hand, they need wins. And you can tell today which team played free and easy. Jays lose 6-3 to the Baltimore Orioles, dropped to 77 and 63 on the year. Now, I've said it all year long. It's not about who has the longest winning streak, because we already saw what happened to the Yankees after they ended their winning streak. The Jays had won 8 straight going into today. You lost. Good news, looks like the Yankees and the Red Sox at least are on pace to lose. So you're not, if everything stays the same, looks like you're not going to lose any ground. But it's what you do after a loss that shows the character of your team. And we saw with the Yankees, and they're going to drop to they would have dropped their 7th in a row after winning 13 straight. It's pretty incredible stuff. The Blue Jays, however, had won 8 in a row. They now lost the game. How is this team going to bounce back? I think I can speak for everybody when I say we need the next 3. You win 3 of 4 against the Orioles, you kind of, forget about the opener loss tonight. But let's break down this ball game anyways. Robbie Ray got the hill, and he was not sharp early on. Leadoff batter, Cedric Mullins hits a solo bomb to center field. Or I believe it was center field. Either way, he hit it deep and gone to give the Orioles a 1-0 lead. Then Austin Hayes rips a triple. Then this McKenna, I think it was Ryan McKenna, hits his 2nd home run of the year, and you're down 3-0. And you've given up 2 home runs and a triple already. It's the 1st inning. Robbie Ray not feeling good early on. It's pretty clear. But we move ahead to the top of the 5th inning, and the Jays start to get some offense cooking. Bo Bichette, it's an RBI single with 2 out, scoring Marcus Semien from third base, makes it a 3-1 ball game. And also in the top of the 5th inning. I mean, this is where things get real wild. I think that was in the 6th inning, I believe. That Gurriel leads off with a double. Not a bunt from Jake Lamb. Nobody moves up, he gets thrown out. Then Randall Grichuk gets a ground ball up the middle. They try to go out. They try to get out at third base. It's a wild throw. Gurriel starts to go home, and Fernando Abad decides, I'm going to body check Gurriel. Not just get in the lane and go, whoa, he went into him and went boom. And I'm like, who's this nut job? Really? He ends up getting, obviously, home on the play, and the Jays are within 1 run. Grichuk ends up at third base, and we're like, okay. The tying run's at third. Marcus Semien then rips a double, scoring Randall Grichuk, and the Blue Jays have tied the game at 3. They've crawled back, they've found a way to get some offense cooking, and they've tied the game. Bottom of the 7th inning, we see Julian Merriweather out there for the first time since April. And he gives it a 3-run bomb to Anthony Santander, Mullins, Trey Mancini come in to score, and it's 6-3. All that work they did to crawl back into the game, the 2 times they had bases loaded in the 4th and the 5th inning, and they couldn't get it done. And you have the game tied at 3, but it's gone. And they get all 3 runs right back, and it's 6-3. It just grabbed all the momentum out of the Blue Jays. Now, they did have a chance in the top half of the 8th inning with 2 on and 1 out for Semien and Vladdy. They couldn't get it done. Hitting with runners in scoring position today, not the greatest. But it wasn't even that. 2 times with bases loaded and 2 out. You couldn't get that big knock. And even in the 8th inning, with 2 on and 1 out, you couldn't get that big knock to bring you back into the ball game. And you score 3. Look, we can talk about how bad Robbie Ray was early on in the game. I mean, well, he wasn't really sharp all game. You could talk about Merriweather giving him a 3-run bomb, but in the end, the Jays only had 3 runs against the Baltimore Orioles. It's not good enough. It's just flat out not good enough against one of the worst pitching staffs in all of baseball. You got to find a way to score more than 3 runs if you're in a pennant race. Now, as I mentioned, you're not going to be perfect every day. So the great thing about baseball is you can bounce back tomorrow and be in great shape, and you have 2 games tomorrow. So wouldn't that be nice bounce back to win both? Wouldn't that be something? Let's get to the stats here real quick. Robbie Ray, as I mentioned, was not sharp. 4 1/3, 8 hits, 3 runs, 8 strikeouts, and he walked 2 guys. Obviously gave up all 3 runs in the first inning. Then Carlos Hyde decides to yap Robbie Ray from the dugout in the second inning, which he's a nut job for even thinking that, because right after that happens, Robbie Ray settles down, doesn't allow anything the rest of the way. I believe there's a run at third, maybe even on the corners with nobody out in that second inning when the yapping started. He ends up getting out of the inning, not giving up a run, and it gives him no runs the rest of the way. So that was a really weird move for Carlos. I'd tell him basically to hurry up. Like, come on, man. You're the manager. Act like it. But he wasn't great. 2 home runs in the game, 2 triples allowed from Robbie Ray. He just was not sharp in this one. Adam Simmer did a great job out of the pennant inning in 2/3, had a couple strikeouts. Obviously, Julian Merriweather wasn't great. It all started with that infield single. They called it an error. For Cedric Mullins, it was the bunt single. It went off the glove of Merriweather. Then he tried to glove flip it. That didn't work. And that kind of started the inning. He goes 2/3 in the inning, allows 2 hits, 3 runs on the 3-run bomb. He also walks the batter as well. Walks. They find a way to kick your ear. And that's exactly what happened to Julian Merriweather in that inning, walking Trey Mancini, getting to Santander there, and throwing him a fastball down the middle. Just a recipe for a disaster. Taylor Sacedo, my God, he had a long inning there in that bottom of the 8th inning, I believe. He went an inning in the 3rd. He walked 3 guys, but somehow didn't allow a run to cross. No strikeouts, no hits allowed for Taylor Sacedo. Offensively, I didn't even really write it down. Bo Bichette, I know, had a good game today. But in the end, it was the lack of big hits with runners in scoring position. We talked about it in yesterday's ball game against the Yankees, or really the whole series against the Yankees. Where the Jays allow a 3-run shot to tie the game. But then in the next 3 innings, they score 1 run, and they build on a lead. Today, that could not happen, though, right? They got in the early hole. They found a way to come back in the game. But the 3-run bomb, they just couldn't manufacture. They couldn't make that final punch against the Orioles, right? And it was a big punch. Because you could arguably say, in that inning where Simeon had the double to tie the game, he was still at second, I believe, with only 1 out. Actually, there might have been 2 with Springer out. But either way, he was at second, and you couldn't drive him in. So there were a lot of opportunities that the Jays missed with driving in runs when the game was tied, or earlier in the game when you were trailing by 3. I mean, there were lots of opportunities to score in this game. The Jays only could muster up 3 runs against the O's, and that's really, really tough way to start this road series against Baltimore. Now, as I mentioned, the doubleheader is tomorrow. I'll be doing 1 video combining both games. Hopefully, we're talking about 2 W's. That would be much, much better. Ryu versus Keegan Akin. That is the pitching matchup there tomorrow afternoon. It's a 4:35 first pitching game 1 of the doubleheader. Last time we saw Keegan Akin, he was great. Hopefully, that's not the case again. Ross Stripling gets the ball for the Blue Jays, I'm going to guess, in game 2. I mean, he was out warming up today, so I'm not really sure if that was just kind of like a bullpen to kind of get him loose, ready for tomorrow or whatnot. But my guess is that he pitches tomorrow, kind of opens the game for the Blue Jays. And then we take it from there. That game is supposed to go at 7:35, but again, all depends on what time the first game finishes. That the second game will kind of line up like half an hour, 40 minutes afterwards, all right? But Jays fans, as I mentioned, and I'm going to leave you with this. Am I upset and kind of angry the Jays lost today? Well, of course. You won 8 straight and you lose the first game to the Orioles. I mean, it's a terrible way to end a winning streak. But with the Yankees losing and the Red Sox in good shape to lose, you didn't lose any ground. And winning streaks come to an end. You won 8 in a row. Now you've lost the game. I don't care who was against. You got to find a way to bounce back in a big way. And if that means take the next 3 games, that's fine. Great teams find ways to not prolong losing skids. And especially at this time of the year where the Blue Jays are sitting just half a game out of a playoff spot, Yeah, they need to get back to stringing some wins together. You got a loss, you got a little bit of a wake-up call. Let's get back at it tomorrow, right? So you know what, guys? That is what I'm going to do for this one. If you enjoyed the video and you didn't enjoy the game today because it was not a very fun game to watch if you're a Jays fan, smack the like button. Do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the game, what you like, what you not like from today's ball game for the Toronto Blue Jays. Twitter is down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. The Instagram link is down below as well. So follow up there if you have not done so already, guys. And I will talk to you, Jays Edition, tomorrow night, talking about both games of the doubleheader against the Baltimore Orioles. Hyun Jin Ryu gets the ball for the Jays versus Keegan Aiken. It's a 4:35 first pitch. I'm going to guess Ross Stripling gets the ball in game 2. It's supposed to be a 7:35 first pitch, but we'll have to wait and see, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll talk to you guys then.